The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day after the market close. Tom takes your phone calls from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time using the data available at that time.
Let's go to Charlie in Drake at Mass. Hey, Charlie, what's going on?
Tom, I saw you on CNBC last week. You're on target as usual, but they should give you more time. God bless. Tom, keep up the good work. I used to listen to you religiously, I think, when you were out of David or Framingham.
Yeah.
Right? And I just found you. I just got a computer. I'm learning the
awesome,
basics.
Man.
And I found you. God bless you.
Oh,
and you keep up the good work, Tom.
Appreciate it, man. Have a great one. Have a safe one.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Wow! Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 9 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone had a great day, safe day. Let's make it a great night, folks. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. To master love, you have to practice love. The art of relationship is a whole mastery, and the only way to reach mastery is with practice. To master a relationship is therefore about action. It's not about attaining knowledge. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. Another day, another dollar. You get the Dow Industrials up $1.23, Nasdaq up 23, S&P's up 17, gold contract down $9.50, trading at $1,424 an ounce. Silver off 33 cents at $23.36 an ounce. Platinum up $22 at $1,502 an ounce. Copper down 7 pennies at $3.29 a pound. Light sweet crude off 94 cents, trading at $94.23 a barrel. Bonds down 27 ticks at 143.25. King dollar up 345 ticks at 83.71. That passed the B point of an ABC structure in the way up with volume, folks. King dollar's going to 88.50. Euro down 38 ticks at 129.36. And the yen, check it out, up 46 over 102 right now. You're at 102.28. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world? In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at it. You're up big. You're up 16 bucks. You did volume of 671 million. If we go look at the SPY, we do the correlation inside the SPY. What you have with the SPY here is that up $1.69. You have 103 million shares traded. So where this gets interesting is this, okay? It didn't take a B point out with volume, but that's what I was looking for just then, is that it did take a small B point out in volume. The B point on this was 106. Bottom line, though, you have an extension with price. No two ways about it. Dow Industrials, what you have with the Dow, that was up $1.23. Inside the Dow Industrials out here today, folks, what was putting juice underneath them was Bank of America, American Express, Chevron, and Travelers. NASDAQ Composite. Inside the Composite, what we had is this. You get a new high out here. You're at 3,462. We did 1.7 billion versus 1.6. Inside the NDX 100, what you also have, you are at a price point of 29.96. That had got to 3055, and the NDX 100 was kind of interesting out here today because the biotechs were what it's all about. You had Gilead, you had Biogen, you had Amgen, and you had let's see, what was one more biotech that was out there that was Amblin was running big. Apple, kind of interesting. What you have with Apple, if you're wondering why Apple's getting toasted and roasted, it's going to get, was down $10.88 today, an expansion of volume. And this is where you want to really absolutely pay attention to, folks, because and this is why intraday, what ended up happening intraday out here, is that Hong Hai Precision Industry, they're the makers and the assemblers in Taiwan of the iPhones and the iPads. This was the first time that they missed revenue in 13 years. And bottom line is that they're saying they missed revenue because they're slowing down. So that's what the deal was with Apple today, intraday. As soon as that came across the tape, they start selling Apple down. That came across the tape. Let's see. You can see it was pretty clear when it came across the tape. Came across the tape at 13:50 Eastern Standard Time. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. Now, let's go over to the world of gold, because this is going to be a slight problem here, and this is what it is. Well, it doesn't have to be a problem, but this is what it is. Okay, gold contract right now is at $14.24. We did 160,000 contracts out here. The high of the April 16th low is $14.04. The low of that is $13.21.50. We're going to go after the $14.04. And $20 in the gold market, folks, is nothing. It really depends on how we hit that level. I suspect it's going to actually get into that and go to the lower level. Why? Well, let's go over to the dollar, because what you have with the dollar is this. Dollar today takes out the B point, does it with 43,000 contracts, wide price spread, accelerated volume. We are on the C to D of a much larger ABC up in the dollar, folks. And yeah, the market doesn't care, evidently, but the market will. The commodities definitely will. What you're going to see is that you're going to see a fast move in the dollar. That's the bottom line. What we did out here today is that we took the B point out big time. That's the smaller ABC up, okay? The larger ABC up, which started in August of 2011, goes like this. DX. I'll put a continuous contract up inside the dollar. And inside what you have... So the larger one on a continuous contract, we're at 83.71 right now, and that B point is only at 84.24. So what you have is this. As you get the price projection of the small ABC, and if tomorrow we get wide price spread accelerated volume, just like we did today, that is going to take out the B point of an ABC structure that started in August of 2011. And you got to remember something, that A to B equals C to D. The A to B move is a straight line move. The C to D move is a straight line move. So we'll see where this whole thing shakes out. But that's telling me that the probability goes much higher that the dollar index is going to get up into those levels. We take a look at some of the high volume stocks in a low volume market. Bank of America is up 33 cents. Let me say Freddie Mac. This is pretty funny. Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, and no one's going to get anything out of this, but this is amazing. So Fannie Mae was up 20% today, up 25 cents. Great trading stock, I guess, but there's nothing there. Because what happens, folks, is that, bottom line is that it's going to go to zero. It just matters when, because the government's not going to let it basically trade. But they're letting it trade, but it's BK. And it wouldn't have to be BK, by the way, if they could figure out how to finance it and send it back. But they already made the law that they can't. This is interesting. TSLA. Tesla. I was watching this earlier at TLSA. Tesla Motors, you talk about a price spread out here today. Oh, baby, that was a price spread. So Tesla had opened up. So check this out. 3 days ago, Tesla's at $55. It went all the way to $97.12 today. It opened up at actually $97.12. And then it sold down all day to $83.24. Now, what's going on with that? That was the first time that they made a profit, number one. More important, though, the percentage of short positions, and this is what you talk about a short squeeze. It was a 41.3% short position. So, you can imagine going from 55 in 4 days to 94. That's basically, the shots are closed now. They're closed because a 50% margin on that's just almost a wipeout. Intel was down 24 cents. You had, it's funny, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they both went. They had to look at this. So Freddie Mac, this is even more bizarre. Freddie Mac was up 23 cents. It started out this morning at 92 cents. Amazing. No doubt. We take a look at a few more of them. You had Boston Scientific was up 5 cents. We had Oracle down 11. Micron Technologies was off 1. Let's go over and take a look at Google. So Google got to higher price. That's at $8.87 right now. Amazon's not moving. It's interesting. If we go take a look at the trend and what that's all about. Okay, so right now we had a 0.56. What that means, folks, is this: is that when you get a 0.56 in the trend, and it's a short-term indicator as to what equities folks are buying. When you get a 0.56, what it's saying is that it's very narrow and everyone's buying the exact same equities. That's how that shakes out. If you get a 1 that means that all the equities are getting around the same share. 0.56 is the problem in the context of everyone's buying the exact same deal. We go take a look. Let's just see. Because as you get closer here, the tick didn't come in. But the trend right now, let's see. So you got, right now, at a 5-day, we're $1.60, $2.60, $3.70. You're still at $4.10. A $4.10 is not a low. There's still not enough greed there. We go over and take a look at the bond market. We take a look at the bond market. 30-year bonds out here are at 123.23. We got down. We did 417,000 contracts, and that's still less than 500,000. It's coming into the 500,000 level. This is Tom O'Brien. This is TFNN. You stay right there, folks. We got our man, Mr. Andy Heck, coming up. He's a commodity expert at TFNN. It's a beautiful thing. Dow finished up 123. Nasdaq up 23. S&P's up 17. We'll get right back.
TFNN has just launched a special Tiger Dollar sale for this month only. In order to raise money for the One Fund Boston, TFNN will be donating up to 10% of all Tiger Dollar purchases during the month of May, and we're giving you a 20% bonus on whatever you spend. But that's not all. In order to raise money for his hometown, Tom O'Brien will be hosting a 2-part, 6-hour online live class that is completely free for anyone that takes part in this special promotion. Monday, June 17th, Tom will host Part 1 from 9 a.m. till 12 noon, where he'll walk you through his weekly Monday morning trading routine as he prepares for the week of trading ahead. And Friday, June 21st, he'll host a 3-hour morning session focusing on trading on Friday of options expiration and what you need to know to make the most of the especially volatile conditions. Both classes will be archived so that if you can't attend live, you will not miss out. For all the details and to place your order today, visit TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We had the Dow finish up $1.23. Nasdaq is up 23. S&Ps are up 17. Now let's go over to our man, Mr. Andy Heck. Andy, folks, has a new show on TFNN. It's an outstanding show. It's all about commodities. It's on every Tuesday and Thursday, 3 to 4 Eastern Standard Time. Andy has a huge amount of experience. He's been on Wall Street for 35 years. He had 20 years, 2 decades at Phillips Brothers on that trading desk, which in fact became Solomon Brothers, and which is now a part of Citigroup. He also has a great book out, and that book, folks, you can go right over to Amazon right now and buy it. It's How to Make Money in Commodities. So you just pull up Andy Hecht, Hecht, How to Make Money in Commodities. That'll get you right over there. And if you missed the show today, folks, okay, this show, you know, all our shows are archived, of course, okay? Andy is on Channel 13. So just remember, Tiger TV, Channel 13, you can hit 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Andy Heck, what's going on?
How are you, Tom?
I'm doing great, man. I know we were both in Boston at the same time, but we didn't get to see each other this weekend.
I know. Next time. I was at my son's graduation, and I brought back a little cold with me, so my voice is a little raspy today. But I had a great show. You know, I find that the hour flies by so fast.
Yeah.
I actually prepared a show for today, which was how commodity markets work. You know, starting with the physical and all the way down to the derivatives, the futures. You know, I only got half the content on the air, so I'll be doing the second half of the show on Thursday.
I love it.
I think it'll be really interesting because I'm going to cover a lot about options and ETFs and ETNs, and I think that's, you know, that they're all related to the physical commodities.
Yeah, they are.
But you know, these derivatives, some of them work well and some don't. So I want to tell the listeners what to look out for.
That's awesome, man. You know, there's no doubt. It's amazing that the market has turned into. Well, it totally makes sense too, though. As to what do we use, how do we use it, when we use it, and it's a supply and demand. It's about resources, right? I mean, that's what they fight wars about. Resources is the name of the game. It's pretty wild, man.
Absolutely. You know, there's something going on in terms of a big resource right in your backyard today.
Talk to me about it. What happens, folks, you know, Andy and I were talking a little bit earlier, and it was so cool because what he wants to talk about. Now, this is dramatic, folks, in the aspect of oranges, but we'll get into it a little bit more. So tell the folks what's going on in Florida, Andy.
Okay, I think I put a chart up there of the frozen concentrated orange contract. Well, you know, Florida is the second largest producer in the world of oranges, second to Brazil. All right? And Florida's crop, just to give you a sense of how big it is, it's $9 billion with a B a year.
That's amazing.
It's huge. So now there's this disease It's called citrus greening, or it's called Huang Long Bing, and it's caused by a bacterium.
Okay.
And what happens is the bacteria are spread from tree to tree in the orange groves by a teeny insect called the Asian citrus psyllid. All right?
Yeah.
So when a tree is affected by this citrus greening, it might not show symptom for years, but eventually the leaves turn yellow and fall while the tree's fruit fails to mature and falls to the ground prematurely.
For years, huh?
Right,
Wow.
exactly. And there's no cure for this disease. So there's been reports now that throughout your state, throughout Florida, that it's critically affected by this. All 32 of Florida's citrus-growing counties have reported this disease, and it's also been found in California, Arizona, Texas, and you know what? China, Mexico, and Brazil are also grappling with infestations. So this could be a very, I look at technomentals, fundamentals, and technicals.
Right.
And the stars seem to be aligning a little bit in terms of frozen concentrated orange juice. And that's telling me that, the price should be going up. All right. I put up a weekly chart here.
Yes.
And it shows higher highs and higher lows, I guess back since kind of late 2012, and we just made another higher high on the weekly chart back in April, and I think the market's getting ready to make even a higher high here. Orange juice has gone up. Right now it's about $1.48.
Okay.
It was up way over 220 back in 2012. If this thing is true and these crops are infested, orange juice prices can double, triple, quadruple from here. Which that's going to affect all of us every morning when we sit down. Those of us who enjoy a glass of Florida's Best, that's going to go up. But there's an opportunity to make some money here. Call options in orange juice, orange juice futures, and you have to, if you hold Coca-Cola in your portfolio, Coca-Cola owns the largest. I think it's
Tropicana,
right? Tropicana,
yeah,
right?
Tropicana,
right?
Tropicana Field, right in Tampa, right?
Exactly. This is going to affect everything.
It's amazing is that in folks, as Andy said, Brazil is the biggest orange producer. In Florida is huge. There's no doubt. Now, what has happened in Florida, even from about 10 or 12 years ago, they had a wicked frost, so that hurt Florida in a big way. But this is heavy business, man, because the amount of land that's affected is insane. I mean, those farmers have such a tough job. I just cannot imagine waking up in the morning and you have something infesting your basically where you live, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know what? It's so important that as in difficult financial shape as Florida's in, Florida legislature approved $8 million to fund research into this condition. They know how important this is.
No, that totally makes sense. We better get Eddie Murphy around, right?
That's right. That was the Dukes. The Dukes were they tried to corner the orange juice market, but they got the crop report the wrong way around.
Yeah, I know, man. That absolutely. Good old Mr. Beeks. That was one of the most classic. It's still one of the most classic movies there ever is. Right.
Tom, whenever I lecture at colleges or to students, I teach them about commodities. I always show a little film clip of that scene with Eddie Murphy and the Dukes when they're explaining to him what commodities are.
Yeah,
it's the greatest. I think Eddie said to them at the end, "What, you guys are some kind of bookies."
Yeah, totally. There's no doubt about it. That's
exactly. So,
well, listen, folks. Okay, don't forget. Every Tuesday, every Thursday, 3 to 4 Eastern Standard Time. Andy has his own show. Call in, talk to him. He's on channel 13, right at Tiger TV. So tonight, after the show, you can hit Tiger channel 13. You can get his whole show from this afternoon. So there's no cure. So they're gonna have to find up a cure, but they're gonna have to start hustling on this thing, man.
Well, that's why they're spending $8 million. I mean, I'm sure that they'll find. There's been other infestation problems. Coffee, for example, the coffee crop in Colombia. Every once in a while, it suffers from coffee rust, and there's ways to do this, but it certainly will be translated into price. There's no question. Back in 2012, when the price spiked up, it was because of a frost.
Okay.
There's no frost this year, and that's what always kind of orange juice trades very seasonally. When it comes comes into winter every year, they get worried there's going to be, 5 days of 30-degree weather and it's going to kill the oranges. Well, this is something totally new now for this orange crop, and I think it could cause some huge volatility in terms of price. Whether they'll find a cure or not, I don't know, but it certainly will make orange juice a more volatile commodity for the next 6 months, so we should keep our eyes on it.
Yeah, totally. Now, what's really cool? It totally makes sense to me that, you ever notice when you travel around, folks, particularly if you go to Hawaii, they do not let you, they go through your luggage. They want to make sure not one plant goes into Hawaii or one plant goes out of Hawaii. You ever notice that, Andy?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And you go to Asia, it's even worse. They'll put you in jail for bringing plants in.
They'll put you in jail in Asia for anything. No.
That's true.
I'm only kidding. Listen, man, you have a great night, safe night. We look forward to the show on Thursday, Andy.
Thanks so much, Tom.
Okay,
take care.
Man. You stay right there, folks. We'll come right back. We ended out 123, NASDAQ up 23, S&P's up 17. We're going to be right back.